Let's look at how we can create the whole color wheel through a gradient only using red, blue, and yellow. For this, I'll be using acrylic paint. Before we begin though, we need to talk about how to know which reds, blues, and yellows to use. In our classroom, we have two reds. One is a cool red, the bright red, on the left. It's a little bit more of a purple undertone, whereas the fire on the right is a warm tone and it leans a little bit more towards the orange. For our blues, we're going to use phthalo blue, that's over here on the right. It's also a very transparent, cool tone. And our cobalt should be a little bit warmer, but I feel like it also leans a little bit more to the cool side, but has a pale undertone. For our yellow, we're just using the chrome, and it's a good solid primary yellow. Here you can see how both reds mix with both blues. Personally, I feel like the bright red is a better choice for your violet colors. The phthalo and bright red lean a little bit closer to the blue violet, but that could be easily corrected with a little less red. On the other hand, when looking at mixing greens, since the yellow is very neutral and both blues lean towards the cool side, either direction works as far as chrome or phthalos goes. And with the oranges, while both reds work, in my personal opinion, the fire red gives you a more pure orange, while the bright red gives you a little bit of a muted orange. Now that we have a good understanding of our base colors, I'm going to go in and apply my primary colors to the gradient strip back on our color wheel sheet. I'm going to lay in my chrome yellow, coming down just a little past the yellow-green mark, going with the blue. This, I'm using the phthalo blue, and I'm going to go through blue-violet and into the blue-green a little bit. And then I'm going to come in with my fire red in the red section, again overlapping just a little bit into the red-violet and red-orange areas. Off screen, I mixed just a little bit of red in with my yellow to give myself an orange, and I'm going to pull through the yellow-orange and the red-orange, and then I'm going to blend it in to the red. You will notice that I went back and added a little bit more red so it's wet, and I'm just blending those two colors right here on the paper. Red-orange should be somewhere between red and orange, not leaning too close to one or the other. I'm going to go back in with my yellow and mix in with the orange that's already on the paper until I'm happy with the gradient, touching up just a little to make sure that it's a pretty good blend. I'll continue the process by making my secondary color, and then while it's still wet, blending both the secondary and the primary color together to get my tertiary color, and mixing them on the paper until I'm happy with the way that they blend, continuing down to the blue-green, and finally with the violet. Remember that choosing the correct primary colors does make a really big difference in how pure your colors will turn out. And this is also acrylic paint, so you must thoroughly wash out your paintbrush until it runs clear when you're complete.